I am sorry because I did something that makes me not a fair dinkum. I did not look up the meaning of fair dinkum before reviewing fair dinkum's seeds that I've never ordered in 2 videos that I've uploaded and another one that I recorded but didn't upload. But yeah, apparently it means something like genius or Einstein would mean in English. Eric and his assistant are fair dinkum magicians. All right. So when I looked this up, I was actually looking for reviews of the seed company, but things came up that made me search for the meaning of the word. But let's just, for the heck of it, look at reviews for fair dinkum seeds. Oh gosh, auto loaded to their roast. So I like Dave's Garden, and apparently Dave's Garden has a site about fair dinkum seeds where people can post reviews. They can be positives, neutrals, or negatives. So the first one that shows up is a negative review. Wool Water gave them a negative review on September 14th of 2021. There's a review. He claims this is a link to responses to questions, but the company representative replied to Will Water's 1-paragraph negative review about a canceled order with what can only be described as a roast. And have you ever complained about a company on social media and had the owner of the company roast you in a multi-paragraph long rant full of insults? Because that is what genius Einstein, fair dinkum, did to this person. And it is really, really, truly an epic roast. A few years ago, I went to a place called the Surfside Burger Shack that I am pretty sure now has a new owner. But the previous owner had a reputation for doing this to anyone who complained. If you went on her Facebook and said, my burger was undercooked, you would get a multi-paragraph long rant telling you off about why you were a horrible customer and why it was your fault that your burger was undercooked or something of the like. She not only did this to me on social media, she one time physically flung a burger at me in person. The owner of the Bernie Motel that I stayed at and I showed a preview of in my preview video of my vacation will also do the same thing. I'm talking about the hotel that had the free bottles of whiskey and vodka and the kitchen and many beds in their rooms. If you complain about that hotel, the owner will roast you. She will write multi-paragraph long rants about why you were the bad customer and why the customer is wrong and she is right. If you complain about her on Expedia or something, just look it up. Look at the reviews of the Bernie Motel on Expedia, and you will see that what I'm talking about is true. Look at the reviews for the Surfside Burger Shack in Eureka from a few years ago, and you will see that what I'm saying is true. But this one could really win an award. I mean, this is really, really the worst roast of a customer in response to a complaint that I've ever read in my life. So I'm going to read it to you. Some folks suck, unfortunately, and while it isn't everyone, the fact is they do exist, and this fella is one of them. It sounds like a description of himself more than the customer, but let's keep reading. This is what really happened. Customer wants seeds. I am sold out. I say I don't know the stock I have in reserve, as I haven't done all the orders. COVID lockdown means we are flat out for the last few days. If I have reserves, I will restock next week after I do all the orders, or failing that, I plan to collect more on a road trip that is also planned for next week. And if you are on the email notification list, as I have explained previously multiple times, you and everyone else will be notified the very second, for misreading it, I restock. I am flat out. But I still managed to restock as promised. But because I'm so busy, the road trip doesn't happen. They hassle me about the seeds again. And I say if it isn't in stock, it will be in as soon as possible. Hassling me to get it again just wastes more time and slows everything down. I was sure I'd restocked, but not 100%. And the week has been a total blur. Of course. And I'm sure that, while the week was a total blur, in his blur, he typed this in some kind of blurry, drunken, intoxicated state and didn't even remember it, but let's just keep reading it. And I just don't have time to stuff around and check. I mistakenly assumed I mustn't have, since they are here a week later annoying me about it again. Surely not. I put some of the other scheduled work aside and focus on greasing the squeaky wheel. Then once done, I make sure they are notified along with everyone else that is waiting. That is when I discover they are not even on the bloody waiting list. That is why they are not notified last time I restocked. All this rushing around and extra work I have done just for them twice now was a complete waste of my time. What have they been hassling me about has been in stock for a bloody week, 3 exclamation points. I tell them this, and then I am far from happy with the extra wasted time. They put in a large order with special instructions, then they insult me. Negative, this is, it was a negative review, and they normally put the word negative on the side, but because of the huge, response, it just randomly ended up right there. At that point, I immediately cancel and refund their order. I don't do this business for big dollar sign. I do it because I like sharing cool seeds with cool folks all around the world. That's it. There are way easier ways to make money than this, but I do it as I kind of reckon. God, this guy really likes to reckon. It is good for the world from an environmental point of view. And it's also super cool meeting passion plant people and supplying them with A1 quality, fresh, viable seeds of species they can't get anywhere else. To me, that is super cool, and it's my main motivator by far. If ever given the choice, I don't sell to folks that are not cool at all, ever. I'd much rather be broke. Wow, that's a good statement. Perhaps he should be, because if this is how you treat your customers, I do not think that I would dare order from this business. I mean, I would be terrified if something went wrong with my order to have to actually converse with this human being on the phone or via email. I mean, imagine. And often people order things for me. Imagine if one of my relatives or subscribers ordered something for me from this company and they got this in response. But yeah, I'm gonna keep reading it.
Who are you talking to?
The phone. Don't speak, I'm recording, because this is insane. If ever given the choice, I don't sell to folks that are not cool at all, ever. I'd much rather be broke. Because of my great reputation and huge loyal customer base, sales is never an issue. My biggest issue is demand for my seeds far outstrips my ability to supply. By preventing this doofus from purchasing, it saves me some grief. And importantly, it benefits my other customers at the same time. Now someone nice won't miss out on these seeds. Smiley face. Unfortunately for them, I guess I am the only person in the world with the species they want, which is a bit of a bummer, ... They tried threats first, then they tried being all friendly, and now they're back to threats with a sprinkle of bad reviews and blackmail too. Whatever. I have no control over their actions, but I do control who I choose to sell to. They are not my customers, and because of their rudeness, they will never be again, and they should really just accept it and get on with their day. In response to their review, I can say their first order was much better than they expected, and they thanked me and praised me on the great germination they had, and they said they would tell their friends, and they happily returned to spend several $100 again. So yeah, there's that. My international shipping flat rate is flat rate 40. Sorry for misreading it. I was scrolling and dropping my phone. This is because it cost me $22 to $63 just for stamps. That's true. I know this because I had a lot of pen pals in Australia. It's expensive to send things from there to here. I think this is very fair, and I encourage you to check the prices yourself if you have doubts. The only reason this NZ, not UK, like their dodgy profile says, ex-customer is unhappy is because I dared to get cranky at them, stuffing me around, then dared to refund sale when they were rude. I refuse sale to all that are rude, especially those that waste my time. Well, definitely don't ever sell anything to yourself, bro. I stand by everything I have said, and I only wish they had put their own comments in that Imgur post as well. In context, I believe my response to their tedious nonsense is very reasonable. You are not welcome in my store going forward, and if you choose to spend your time doing your best to hurt my business, there is not much I can do about it. That's your karma. May you reap what you sow in all aspects of your life. Smiley face. I mean, like, really? Okay, that's a roast. That's a roast. That qualifies as a roast. And I love how it ends with, may you reap what you sow in all aspects of your life. Like, I mean, it's like so nasty and so snarky. This is, unfortunately, like what I have received when I've complained about businesses. I've received like roasts like this. Like, I literally said there was a piece of metal in your ground beef and got roasted like this. I said, why did you dump my ahi tuna and my bottle of vodka smashed in the road, and got a personal phone call from the manager of Wildberries who roasted me like this. Using the B word and the C word was awful. Like, okay, have business owners ever heard the phrase, the customer is always right? Like, I don't care what the person's complaint was. Refund their order. Replace their order. Roast them? No. This is just like unacceptable. It is unacceptable for this to result in this. It goes and goes and goes and goes. Your karma, you reap what you sow. I mean, I hope that the person who got this response didn't have like mental health issues and didn't get like depressed or cry over it, but it seems that they probably got that many times before. They shared a link that is not clickable, probably doesn't exist anymore, to some of the previous responses, so I'm sure they weren't pretty. They publicly posted a review on Dave's Garden because the responses they got weren't pretty, and they got this, which is not pretty. Yeah, they're fair dinkums, all right. This guy's a fair dinkum. And I'm saying that totally, absolutely sarcastically. And I would also like to mention that I would never order seeds from Fair Dinkum after reading this. And I do not want any of my subscribers or any of my family members or friends to ever order seeds from them, because as I've said previously, most people aren't Adrienne, Floreen, and reading stuff like this directed at them might actually hurt their feelings. I'll just get angry that you were such an asshole to actually spend the time to say the shit to me or about me and make a video roasting you back or yell about it to everyone. I'm not going to get my feelings hurt or cry. Will Water's not crying. Pretty sure he's not crying or she's not crying, whoever he or she is, but this is just epic. I'm sure at the point when Will Water got this response, they said, okay, I'm done. I thought I was going to complain to this company and get, like, the seeds I wanted or a refund, but I'm done. I'm never going to interact with these people again. I mean, would you? What the hell would you respond to this with? Unbelievable.